Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk with you about unemployment anxiety, fear of losing your job, and 5 tips on how to manage unemployment anxiety. I've heard from so many people that they struggle with this, and there are so many ways that we can help ourselves. So, if you are struggling with anxiety because you lose your job, especially during this pandemic season, definitely this video is meant for you. So, watch till the end so as to be entitled with 4 more bonus tips. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Live Without Anxiety, the channel where you can find the best anxiety hacks. We all know that anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. There are tons of ways to battle this enemy that stays in the state of the mind, but these are just some helpful tips to get you started. Number 5. Keeping yourself busy all day. I know that this sounds really silly and simple, but oftentimes our anxiety loves and lives in the quiet. When we have nothing to do, sitting at home, moping about, it kind of takes a molehill and turns it into a mountain. When we have time to ruminate and think about things, it can make it so much worse. But if we are just going about our day busy doing things, making deals, catching funds, we don't have time to think about it. So I would encourage you, if you are able, plan your days out and make sure you have things happening. These will not allow you to really think about your unemployed status. If you think that this tip was interesting and helpful, stay tuned to the last tip, which has to be the most helpful, interesting, and easy to do among all the tips. Tip number 4. Learn to identify risk factors. Losing a job is much like losing a loved one, and most people need time to grieve the loss of their job. Once you've worked through all the emotions, pick up the pieces and start moving on. Sometimes though, emotional distress due to unemployment can set in, and it takes a little more pushing to move forward. Learn to identify depression triggers and symptoms. How much are you sleeping? Are you missing meals? How long has it been since you socialized? Listen to your friends and family. If they start showing concern about your behavior, it may be appropriate to seek professional help. You can contact us. We have licensed counselors who can help you to get past your unemployment anxiety. Moving to the third tip, which is really helpful and very easy to do and has helped a lot of our clients. Number 3. Do a daily exercise and routine meditation. Exercise is a natural and effective anti-anxiety treatment. It relieves tension, reduces stress hormones, boosts feel-good chemicals such as serotonin and endorphins, and physically changes the brain in ways that make it less anxiety-prone and more resilient. For maximum relief of GAD, try to get at least 30 minutes of physical activity on most days. Exercise that engages both your arms and legs, such as walking, running, swimming, or dancing, are particularly good choices. For even greater benefits, try adding mindfulness element to your workouts. Mindfulness is a powerful anxiety fighter and an easy technique to incorporate into your exercise program. Rather than spacing out or forcing your thoughts during a workout, focus on how your body feels as you move. Try to notice the sensation of your feet hitting the ground, for example, or the rhythm of your breathing, or the feeling of the wind on your skin. Not only will you get more out of your workout, you will also interrupt the flow of constant worries running through your head. While this takes some practice to do successfully, mindful meditation, when done regularly, can eventually help you train your brain to dismiss anxious thoughts when they arise. If sitting still and concentrating is difficult, try starting with yoga. Number 2. Look at your worries in new ways. The core symptom of anxiety is chronic worrying. It's important to understand what worrying is, since the beliefs you hold about worrying play a huge role in triggering and maintaining anxiety. You may feel like your worries come from the outside, from other people, events that stress you out, or difficult situations you're facing. But in fact, worrying is self-generated. The trigger comes from the outside, but your internal running dialogue keeps it going. When you're worrying, you're talking to yourself about things you're afraid of or negative events that might happen. You run over the feared situation in your mind and think about all the ways you might deal with it. In essence, you're trying to solve problems that haven't happened yet, or worse, simply obsessing on worst-case scenarios. All this worrying may give you the impression that you're protecting yourself by preparing for the worst or avoiding bad situations. But more often than not, worrying is unproductive, sapping your mental and emotional energy without resulting in any concrete problem-solving strategies or actions. But you have to distinguish between productive and unproductive worrying, and how will you do that? It's simple. If you're focusing on what-if scenarios, your worrying is unproductive. Once you've given up the idea that your worrying somehow helps you, you can start to deal with your worry and anxiety in more productive ways. This may involve challenging irrational and worrisome thoughts, learning how to stop worrying, and learning to accept uncertainty in your life. Number 1. Focus on what you can change. Many times, anxiety stems from fearing things that haven't even happened and may never occur. For example, even though everything is okay, you may still worry about potential issues such as losing your job, becoming ill, or the safety of your loved ones. Life can be unpredictable, and no matter how hard you try, you can't always control what happens. However, you can decide how you are going to deal with the unknown. You can turn your anxiety into a source of strength by letting go of fear and focusing on gratitude. Replace your fears by changing your attitude about them. For example, stop fearing to lose your job and instead focus on how grateful you are to have a job. Come to work determined to do your best. Instead of fearing your loved one's safety, spend time with them or express your appreciation of them. With a little practice, you can learn to dump your anxiety and pick up a more positive outlook. At times, your anxiety may actually be caused by a real circumstance in your life. Perhaps you're in a situation where it's realistic to be worried about losing your job due to high company layoffs or talks of downsizing. When anxiety is identified as being caused by a current problem, then taking action may be the answer to reducing your anxiety. And because you're still with us till here, we have a few bonus tips for you. A healthy, balanced lifestyle plays a big role in keeping the symptoms of general anxiety disorder at bay. In addition to regular exercise and relaxation, try adopting these other lifestyle habits to tackle chronic anxiety and worry. First, get enough sleep. Anxiety and worry can cause insomnia, as anyone whose racing thoughts have kept them up at night can attest. But lack of sleep can also contribute to anxiety. When you're sleep deprived, your ability to handle stress is compromised. When you're well rested, it's much easier to keep your emotional balance, a key factor in coping with anxiety and stopping worry. Improve your sleep at night by changing any daytime habits or bedtime routines that can contribute to sleeplessness. Second, limit caffeine. Stop drinking or at least cut back on caffeinated beverages including soda, coffee, and tea. Caffeine is a stimulant that can trigger all kinds of jittery psychological effects that look and feel a lot like anxiety, from pounding heart and trembling hands to agitation and restlessness. Caffeine can also make general anxiety disorder symptoms worse, cause insomnia, and even trigger panic attacks. Third, avoid alcohol and nicotine. Having a few drinks may temporarily help you feel less anxious, but alcohol actually makes anxiety symptoms worse as it wears off. While it may seem like cigarettes are calming, nicotine is actually a powerful stimulant that leads to higher, not lower, levels of anxiety. And fourth, eat right. Food doesn't cause anxiety, but a healthy diet can help keep you on an even keel. Going too long without eating leads to low blood sugar, which can make you feel anxious and irritable. So start the day right with breakfast and continue with regular meals. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, which stabilize blood sugar and boost serotonin, a neurotransmitter with calming effects. Reduce the amount of refined carbs and sugar you eat too. Sugary snacks and desserts cause blood sugar to spike and then crash, leaving you feeling emotionally and physically drained. So here's the summary of today's tips on how to fight your anxiety about losing your job. Do a daily exercise and routine meditation. Look at your worries in new ways. Focus on what you can change. Keep yourself busy all day. Learn to identify risk factors. Get enough sleep. limit caffeine, avoid alcohol and nicotine, and eat right. Now, I believe you have learned quality tips on how to deal with various anxiety during this pandemic season, and I'm curious which out of these tips did you like the most, which was the easiest for you to engage in, and the most interesting to you. Kindly answer that in the comment box because we would love to know your state of mind. Live Without Anxiety community really cares about your healthy living. Stay tuned for more of our videos and don't forget to follow our channel and subscribe. If you enjoyed finding out about this video, I'm sure you would really like also revealing about 5 tips on how to cope with pandemic anxiety. So make sure to check it out. And always remember, you can live without anxiety.